I definitely think playing Graceland recently was a good advantage for us coming into this first game of the tournament because it was a fresh scout. We already knew each. Well, of course, when we play a team over and over again, you already know their players, but it was still fresh in our minds. So we knew our assignments and we knew what we had to do.
Your general impressions first from the
I am extremely excited. As a senior, I was not ready for my season to end, and as a team, as a whole team, we weren't ready for our season to end, and we want to go to nationals. So.
Graceland established a 10-point first half lead before a late 13-0 run really seemed to get the team back in and actually gave you a 2-point lead. First, what was Graceland doing in the first half to build that lead, and how did you counter them?
Honestly, I don't think. Well, when Graceland started building their lead, it wasn't so much of what they were doing that got them the lead. It was what we weren't doing. We weren't boxing out as much. We really turned it over. Basically, is what I think he said they had 20 points off of our turnovers. So it was our mistakes that gave them that lead more so than what they were doing to us.
And so Central Methodist late in the first half with a 13-0 run to get back in the game, Morgan better, 3-point shooting, really triggered that. Just kind of your general impressions, what you remember from that stretch late in the first half.
I just remember in the first half, it was, it's really pretty much of a blur right now. But Morgan's 2 threes back to back, that gave us a boost. Like that was a huge momentum builder. Every time she hits a three, it's a huge momentum builder for us anyway. And then we got a couple of stops. It just, I don't know, it just worked out for us. I can't really go back that far right now in my mind, to be honest.
The team goes into halftime. What does Coach Arnold say to you? What are the adjustments that are made?
We just had to settle down, take care of the ball. It wasn't, usually we don't have any energy. At halftime, it's like we're dead. But this time, I don't think that was the case. We were hustling. We were playing hard. We weren't playing as smart as we probably could. And I know myself, and a couple of other teammates, it's like we were so anxious to play that we just had to settle into the game. And I think when second half came out, we were more settled into the game.
You had 22 of your career high 26 points after halftime. What do you think was the key to get you going offensively?
The key to get me going offensively was definitely my teammates. I mean, if they weren't scoring inside, if Morgan wasn't hitting shots, if Kyrie wasn't driving to the basket, we have so many threats that you have to pick and choose who you guard. So I wasn't really a factor in the first half, so they were paying more attention to them, which left me open. That plus Coach Arnold screamed at me to shoot, said I wasn't shooting enough, so then I shot.
You hit 3 straight threes during the key stretch midway through the second half. How do you think that 3-point shooting barrage lifted and elevated your team?
My consecutive threes, it gave a huge morale boost to my team because being a senior, I think, and the way they look up to me, I know, and I'm not really a big rah-rah person, but when I get anxious, like when I get excited, they do too. So I feel like that gave them the excitement needed to finally pull away from Graceland.
The team shoots 14 of 16 at the free throw line in the second half. You were 10 for 10 in the game. How important is that to hit free throws, considering you've been around for 4 years?
Hitting free throws is huge. And you could ask any player or any coach across the board, and the great saying is free throws win games. We always have a goal of how many free throws we want to shoot, and I think he said that we shot like 30 or 31 free throws as a team today. So that was huge.
What were your general impressions of the crowd, the student section tonight? What kind of lift did they give?
It's always good playing in front of your home crowd, and to have them show so much support to us while we were out there, and to know that they're behind us, and we want to do it for our whole school, So it was a big lift.
Central Methodist travels to Mid-American Nazarene on Saturday for the tournament semifinals. This being the third time, and this being a familiar team that you've played before, just kind of break down the matchup just as you see it in your mind right now.
Going into mid-am, personally, I see a lot of similarities between mid-am and us. And if you look back at the other games that we played, we've lost, but only by like a 10-point margin in both games. And we've basically pretty much played them even. Like, we've won 2 halves and they've won 2 halves. So when it comes down to mid-am, it's really whoever fights the hardest at the end, whoever has the better game that day, the better practice the day before is going to win.